24/7, 365. The fantasy season never dies. Welcome to Every Day is Draft Day. Presented by Champions Round.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Every Day is Draft Day episode. I don't remember what episode it was. I'm Dan Turner. Joining me, as always, Steffi Smalls, actually not sitting on the floor. What's up,
I'm not.
Steph?
I'm in a chair. Isn't that pretty
You're
cool?
literally moving up in the
Not
world.
bad.
Literally moving up. Height-wise. It's great.
Oh, God.
So, moving right along into some news. Just before getting on the air, Odell Beckham cleared waivers. Where do you think he's going to sign? Where should he sign? Do you even care?
Is it weird that I kind of like him now that he's not? Like, now that it's like, it's not associated with the Giants anymore. This is like kind of like Brady and the Patriots. Like, speaking of Patriots, I think he should go to the Patriots. I think it's the best landing spot for him. I feel like everyone is yelling into the air. You know, he wants to be a contender. He whines about not getting the ball. It's been a consistent thing with him. So why would he want to go to a team that has a very clear defined wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3? He needs to go somewhere that is lacking. I mean, would you argue that the Patriots do not have a wide receiver 1?
I would not. You are correct.
Yeah. So I feel like the Saints are also a nice option. KC is actually a nice option. I don't know that that is going to be the case, but my dream spot for him is the Patriots. I know everyone's talking about the Packers and what's the other one? Seattle, but
Seattle. Yes. I actually wouldn't want him on the Saints. I don't think he'd be happy there. And it was clear from him, meeting with teams before the waiver period saying he doesn't want to go to anybody that's rebuilding and only to a contender that, my favorite spot would be the Packers, honestly. I think that literally the glaring need that the Packers have had for years is that wide receiver across from Devontae Adams that wasn't a complete bum. So if you get, Odell there and he behaves himself and, he's healthy, and I don't think he's ever going to be the Odell we saw in New York again, talent-wise, but he's still definitely more talented than anything else they have outside of Devontae Adams. So I would love for him to go there, but I can see the appeal of him also going to New England too. That's definitely a Belichick type move to get Mac Jones that number one guy that he needs.
And New England is quietly doing very well, and no one is paying attention, but they are very sneakily performing at a level that they could end up winning that division if things end up going in their favor, and they could end up making a nice playoff run. So I think to count the Patriots out, or to count Billy B out, and then you add OBJ, like I think that would be a really nice piece there.
100%. And yeah, people are too busy worrying about Buffalo, losing to the Jags and stuff, but that kind of thing's opening the door for New England to get right back into that division race. So it's definitely something to look at going forward. Hopefully we'll get some news sometime, today where he's going to sign. All right, so moving along, we're going to head to our mailbag. We got a bunch of some awesome questions for this week, so we're going to get right to it. Question number 1. Are there any Falcons receivers that have fantasy value outside of Kyle Pitts?
I don't know, for 9 points
Russell
a week,
Gage.
I guess. You just have to decide which one now. The Russell Gage thing is kind of annoying because I actually thought he would be way more involved even with Ridley there. I thought I thought Julio leaving almost gave Russell Gage a little bit bigger of a role, but honestly, you're seeing them do exactly what we should have expected, and we did expect is Kyle Pitts is everything they kind of need. And I think it's going to be a crapshoot trying to figure out which wide receiver there is going to end up getting the rest of the work each week. It stinks because I had Russell Gage all over the place, but I've honestly dropped him in a couple places because I don't know what week to start him. I'm not going to get anything for him. So I'd rather make room for one of these rising guys this late the season.
You want to make room for that third string running back that's about to start.
Yeah, I have to make room for all of my Giants fantasy players that do absolutely nothing because of Jason Garrett.
But no, I agree with you. I was on the same page as you. I thought that Russell Gage with Julio Levy was definitely going to step up into that that role right behind Calvin Ridley and get and perform, but he really hasn't done so to this point. I mean, 2 weeks ago he didn't even didn't have any points at all, and this past week he did pretty well. But we definitely need to see some more consistency from him before we can trust him outside of Pitts. And obviously, he'd be the number 3 option with outside of Pitts and Patterson right as of right now. So, but there's definitely value there. I mean, they throw the ball a ton.
And it's so funny because the Falcons have these 2 guys that are now their studs because Ridley's not there, that are also kind of dual players. I mean, not kind of, they are. I mean, they're both the wide receiver in a sense, and one's running back and one's a tight end. So it kind of eats out a lot of the volume there because they really could get the job done with just the 2 of them.
Pretty much, yeah. They can line up anywhere on the field and run anything. So who needs anyone else, really?
Yeah.
Sticking with the Falcons. So speaking of Ridley, he's gone, take care of his mental health for a while. What are you doing with him now?
If you have him in redraft, it's okay. I think you can go ahead and part ways with it in Dynasty. I think you can put him on IR. I'm pretty sure I did. So you can stash him. I have a feeling that means we're not. It feels very much like Ridley will probably not be back this season, is what my gut is telling me. I don't know how you feel about it.
No, I agree. I think that it was a big deal for him to announce that he needed to take time off or something like that. That's not something that we had seen much before in the NFL. So I think that if whatever it was that he needed to go and take care of was as big a deal as he made it seem, I don't think that we'll see him back this year because of that. Whatever it is, only he knows obviously, but from the way it sounded and the way he made it seem with that letter he wrote, it doesn't seem to me that he'll be coming back this year.
Right. And it's good though. I think it's like I do like that finally mental health is taking a place where players feel like they can be vocal enough. Whereas in the past, I'm sure maybe situations like this have come up, but they've tried to write it out. But for him, he's like knows that his mental health, he needs a break. That's deserving of a place, an injury reserve. Yeah, it's not physically, but I applaud him for being able to come out.
Absolutely, 100%. I think it also helped that he's such a well-known player. He's on everyone's fantasy Reddit and everything, and the fact that he made it more acceptable to admit that you might have some mental health. You need to take care of your mental health too. It's not physical injuries happen in football all the time, but there's guys that are also dealing with a lot more outside the game or even during the game, whatever. And that they should get the same level of care for that than they would do for an ankle sprain or something like that. Mm-hmm. So I really do applaud him for being able to come out and shed light on that issue.
Definitely.
So next one, who's your favorite low-owned and or waiver wire receiver for the rest of the season?
I don't want it to be a receiver, so I'm changing the question because I don't follow the rules.
All right, we're just
Freiermuth. Go get Freiermuth now. Like right now. I picked him up last week, was very happy. I think you're seeing, Big Ben. We see this happen when quarterbacks get older and they're starting every week to rely even more heavily on him. And I mean, I was so happy that I picked him up with Hawk on bye week, 21 plus points. So I think that Freiermuth, I know everyone thinks I'm crazy because you'll see all my flex spots with tight end. I'll play 200 tight ends in a week. I don't care. But he's someone that is obviously consistently, we've seen what he's done these past 2 weeks. He is a tight end one, very much so. And I think you're going to see him keep rising up the leaders board here as far as tight end goes.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm 100% with you. I'm definitely, in that co-pilot seat on the Freiermuth bandwagon with you. I love him. He's definitely, building a rapport with Ben. He's getting more targets every week. He's getting those touchdowns. He's getting all those targets that Juju doesn't get now because he's out. And he kind of reminds me a little bit of a more athletic like Keith Miller for Ben now. Ben, obviously, his arm isn't as good as it was. So to have that weapon in the middle of the field, he's definitely jumped into that upper echelon.
He gives me Gronk vibes. Is that weird? Like, I don't know what it is.
No.
It's something Gronky about, or is it maybe just the athleticism, the size, that's more,
I think,
because I want everyone to be like Gronk. But I think he has this, he's the perfect build, has the perfect athletic, everything about him is very screams tight end one. And I think that he was an absolute great value for the Steelers, something that they definitely needed over there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's funny too because coming out of college, it wasn't like he was some like unknown bum. If it wasn't for Kyle Pitts, like he would have been the tight end one coming out of this class. He did great in college. So the fact that he went to Pittsburgh, who's had a long history of utilizing the tight end successfully, was a great thing. But because obviously Kyle Pitts and he's the a Hall of Fame tight end as soon as he was drafted, it was kind of a disservice to fire him with. But it's good to see that he's getting kind of the recognition he deserves now.
It's actually awesome that they got Najee and him. What the hell are we all doing? Like, what is happening?
They completely rebuilt their offense in one draft, pretty much, except for the line. But that's neither here nor there. I can't believe I have to ask this question. Okay, who would win in a fight? Me, as an actual Eagle, or Daniel Jones?
I mean, obviously Daniel Jones. Like, I feel like that shouldn't even be a question. He would be faster than you. And I think he would just squash you with his biceps, or like he would just like a bug.
Okay. Well, Eagles' talons are like razor sharp.
Would you like try to scratch his eyes out or something?
I would literally scratch his eyes out. And then
I just don't think it would happen. But I also, in my head, like I've never physically seen Daniel Jones, despite maybe thinking that I have. But to me, he's like a combination between like Hercules and Zeus if they were one human being. Okay. So I also, don't entirely like. I probably have a poor imagining of what he actually is.
Okay, so going by your imagination, I probably won't beat him. Reality, I mean, you probably try to run away and trip, and then I just get him. So
but I also feel like, I don't know, in my head too, like Eagles are very similar to pigeons. Like they're essentially the same thing to me. So I don't think of them as very like malicious.
It's not even remotely
at
all scientifically. Pigeons are not eagles.
Yeah, well.
All right. That was a fun question. Yeah. So I'll take this time now to let everyone know we're doing a Trey Lance signed jersey contest this week. So what you need to do is DM us on Instagram with the key phrase, which is Lance will make her dance. I don't know who the her is in that, but whatever. And also comment on this video once it's posted and tell us who will win Rookie of the Year. So to review, DM us on Instagram with the phrase Lance will make her dance and comment on this video and tell us who will win Rookie of the Year. And you'll be entered to win that Trey Lance signed jersey, which is pretty cool.
Hubba.
Shut up. I hate you both for that. I'm never living that one down. Next question. Redraft. Josh Jacobs and Kyle Pitts for Travis Kelce. Which side wins? I'm assuming PPR.
This one, I mean, we're probably going to disagree on this, but I am not taking the Kelce side. I feel like, who were the two again?
Josh Jacobs and Kyle Pitts for Travis Kelce.
No.
In PPR redraft.
No.
So you're taking the Pitts side?
Jacobs? I think that we've seen. I mean, Kelce is obviously Kelce, and I get that. I'm not. There's nothing, but it's more I don't trust the Chiefs. I guess I know that I know Jacobs' role a little bit is more clear to me, and so is Pitts as well. I'd rather take both of those and take the higher weeks out of both of them. Maybe that's a little foolish, but for me, I'd rather have both of those guys versus Kelce, because Kelce, I mean, maybe this is also might be me emotionally talking because he burnt me a couple times. So
you answering with emotion, I'm shocked that you would do that.
Like we're not getting along.
I think I would agree with you, only because I think Pitts is becoming a lot more of the focal point of the Falcons offense recently, and the Chiefs just aren't acting like the Chiefs right now for whatever reason. They're just Mahomes isn't accurate with passing, and Kelsey's going to get you those points. But I do like the upside more of Pitts right now. And Jacobs, I'm not really a big fan of. I think that Kenyon Drake eats into a lot more of his role than I'd like. But I for some reason I'm agreeing with you, and I take the Pitts Jacobs side.
Wow. I'm convincing you things that you don't want to agree with. Like, you put Ingram on your sits, and I know that was my fault. I have brainwashed you. I didn't even put him on my sits this week.
Going to go and spend 14 hours and reevaluate my life after this episode. So, speaking of Kelsey, would you trade a 2022 first and second round pick for a rookie pick for Kelsey?
Okay. Well, I tricked you because this is my question, and I just want to hear what you have to say.
Oh, okay. You tricked me.
I put this on here. I just got.
You got me good. Okay. So my opinion, I would trade the picks I would take Kelsey. Only because
Dynasty? I mean, obviously. Why did I say Dynasty. That? Am I serious?
You are. You said that we were live.
I need another coffee.
You do. You need.
Okay, but what would you trade? How do I get rid of Kelsey, basically? I have a ton of tight ends. I don't need him. And I have a kind of a rebuild team.
All right. So you can just say that next time.
Okay.
Go for 20,
that's what I meant.
Go for 2023, a 2023 first, and whatever else you can get for him. Because the 23 draft is much better skill position wise, and you can get more of those picks because people, in my opinion, always never look like too far into the future in Dynasty. So you can get more value a year later than you would now for better players, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm going to do something. I'm going to get weird with it. I don't know what I'm going to do.
I am very concerned with whatever that offer will be. Very concerned. Okay, is this your question too? Mooney and 22 second. Okay, so we're just right. So Mooney and a 2022 second for Kareem Hunt. What side? All right, let me just ask you, since it's your question, what do your running backs look like?
That's a good question. I would have to find that team so we can circle back to this question if you want.
All right, circling back.
I'm only in 75 leagues, but that is a good question.
Yes.
But I think I'm doing fine without him. So let's see. I'll find it.
All right. Next question. Burrow is the starter on bye. They have Heineke, but Goff and Simeon are available on waivers. Who should they start at quarterback? Heineke, Goff, or Simeon?
Well, I'll tell you. Who do the Lions have again?
I don't know.
I have it right here somewhere.
Steelers.
Steelers. Definitely not Goff, that's for sure. Not with the way that they've been sacking over there. Absolutely not. I would not start Goff. I think you're asking for a lot of trouble doing that. I think it's a crapshoot between the two. You don't really know how Heine is ever gonna play, so he could have a good week or not. I'm leaning towards trusting the Saints, but again, you have Tennessee, who's very hot
I'm
right
not
now.
I'm not trusting the Saints against Tennessee after what they just did to Stafford. So I'm going to go Heineke.
I actually think I would play Heineke.
Yeah, Heineke for that one.
Oh, I found it.
Okay, good. What is it?
Okay, so I have. Why is it reloading? Sleeper. Okay, I have a lot of running backs. Honestly, I have Connor. I have Tony P. I've got Kenyon Drake. I've got Balaj, Ahmad, Chuba Hubbard. And who else? I probably have people on IR. And then I have Hunt on IR, which is who they're trying to trade for.
So Mooney and a 22 second for Hunt. What are your receivers?
Good question.
No, I'm asking so much.
I have Elijah Moore, Boyd, Chenault. I'm kind of weak at receiver. Galladay.
Receivers.
Ross, Higgins, Zay Jones, Curtis Samuel, MVS.
Okay, yeah, the trade. Take Mooney in the second, and then draft receiver with that second round pick, please, for the love of God.
Okay, good idea. I'm glad we talked that out because I wanted to do it. I thought it was a good idea, but I need to hear someone else say it. So now, like, I can blame you when it doesn't go well.
Yes.
So it's not just my fault.
And it's recorded live, so I can't even say I didn't say that. So
exactly.
This is a great point by you, because we're now obviously
none of the questions are mine anymore. We're done with my therapy session.
We're done. We're done with the Steph fantasy therapy.
Yes. Thank you. Okay. I appreciate it.
Anytime. That's what I'm here for. making your incorrect fantasy decisions for you. All right. So this is more of a rule-ish type of question. Someone traded Connor for Devontae Smith right before the news broke that Edmonds would go on IR. Should the trade be vetoed? No.
No, absolutely not. I've never even been in a league that like the vetoing really happens. But again, he got injured. You should have known at that point. Anytime a player gets injured, you're not positive he's not going to go on IR. So that's the mistake of the receiving side of Edmonds, to make that. You made the decision taking on even, like my trade we just talked about. If Hunt ends up being out for the season, that's not my problem. You are trading for him. He's on IR. So I don't think it should be vetoed at all. I'd throw a fit.
No, not even. For whether the question is worded, it seems that the trade was agreed to before Edmonds got hurt even. So in that case, absolutely not. Either case, really, absolutely not. I mean, vetoes in general are stupid. But in this specific case, there is no way that should be vetoed. Absolutely not. And if it was, I'd leave the league, honestly, because that's dumb. All right. If Russell Wilson is back, do we play him against Green Bay, or do you play Teddy Bridgewater against my Eagles?
I think you should answer because they're your Eagles.
I don't want to answer.
Why? Because you want to say against your Eagles?
No, I know you're going to be against my Eagles. I would play Wilson. I mean, it's a no-brainer. If Russell Wilson's healthy, you're playing Wilson over Teddy Bridgewater. It's not even close. I mean, Denver is probably going to run all over us. I mean, I'd play the running backs definitely, but I don't think that Bridgewater is going to do as well as Wilson would if he starts.
Right.
Oh, you agree?
Yes, I agree. Okay. That's fine. I'll allow it.
Oh, you will. Thank you. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Last question of the day. Well, actually, there's two questions. It's a two-part question. Mm-hmm. All right. So for the rest of season, redraft full PPR. First one, Deandre Swift or Daryl Henderson?
Yeah. So this stinks a little bit. It doesn't stink. I just think I don't want to say what I want, how I feel. And how I feel is I think I like Swift the rest of the season, which I know totally sounds insane. But Sony Michel has weirdly, creepily been more involved, and I don't love it. I think the Rams, we might see him starting. He's not going to eat away at some of the volume, but in a sense he might, and we've seen it start to happen. He's actually on my show sheet to talk about on Small Stocks Balls because it's stressing me out. I would go Swift because I think his role is more defined is all. And he's sitting right now at RB9. I think Henderson's down at RB12. So as of right now, he has played, has performed better for fantasy.
I would go Swift.
We're agreeing way too much. It's disgusting.
I know. I am really feeling ill right now. But you have made some good points. I don't trust Henderson with Sony eating into his workload, and the Lions really don't have any major weapons besides Swift and Hockenson. So it's not like we have to worry about Swift's carries or target share or anything. That's pretty secure. So in this case, rest of the season, I go with Swift. And last but certainly not least, in this horrifying episode where we're agreeing far too much, would you go Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson for the rest of the year?
I
don't know. That's why I asked.
Can you go first? No, I will.
I go first. Do you want me to go first?
No, go ahead, and then we'll see. I'm not going to agree with you on this, though.
All right, sounds good. I'm taking Jamar Chase. because I think that the Vikings offense isn't as good as it was last year. I think that everyone, saw what Justin Jefferson did last year, and it wasn't realistic that he was going to repeat that kind of yardage and touchdowns and play. And I think that, Chase is the Burrow's obvious favorite target. So the rest of the season, I'd probably go with Chase. As long as Burrow's healthy, let me caveat that. If Burrow's healthy, I'll go Chase. If not, then Jefferson.
Okay, so I have to agree with you, which is really obnoxious.
But
It comes down to Zimmer and Kubiak. I mean, the dude had like 3 receptions like last week. They are, for some reason, essentially I think the Vikings and Jason Garrett might have the literal same playbook. Like, I don't know what it is. They, for some reason, do not want to get Jefferson involved. They're playing very soft, scared football. And, I mean, Chase is sitting right now as wide receiver 3 through 9 weeks of play. That's pretty impressive. And I bet he won't drop very far after, this bye week even. I think Chase and the Burrow connection you can't beat. And the Vikings, just their offense, they have everything they need to be a contender, and they fail to do so.
Yeah. I mean, you said it perfectly. That just for some reason they can't put it all together when they have all the pieces. And Chase it took a little bit, but he's clearly the top guy in Cincinnati, and him and Burrow have that connection. So definitely Chase the rest of the season. All right, well, that will do it for this episode of Every Day is Draft Day, where Steph and I agreed far too much. Join us next time because we're running 2 shows a week now.
Yeah.
So
if you don't back out,
we get to agree twice as much. I'm not going to back. Why would I back out? It's ridiculous.
Say the phrase again for them. What are we giving away this week?
I am not saying the phrase again.
You have to. It's in our employee contract.
You are not my boss. I don't have to.
That's okay. I'm going to tell on you. You have to.
You are such a tattletale.
I don't remember it. What is it, though?
I don't remember it either, actually. 1 second. Let me see here. Tell people where they can find you while I look for this. Oh, here it is. Lance will make her dance. That's what it is. All right, well, that'll do it for this episode of Every Day is Draft Day. I hope you all enjoyed the fact that Steph and I agreed on pretty much everything, causing both of us to examine how we are living our lives. Steph, why don't you let everyone know where they can find you?
You guys can find me at Eagle Dan. Sorry. You can find me at Steffi Smalls with 3 L's on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all the things. And all my stuff is at Champions Round.
You can find me on Twitter at EagleDanFF. That's 1 E, not 3 E's, 1 E. You can also find me at Champions Round. I have a waiver article that came out today. My buy sell will be tomorrow, and my weekly previews on Friday. You can catch Steph on a Smalls Talks Balls. It's a great show. You should check that out.
Yeah.
And
you can catch us again. We're going to record twice this week.
Twice. We're recording twice now because that's how much we love agreeing with each other. We want to give you guys twice the amount of agreement. That's how we roll around here. All right, everyone, have a great week, and I'm going to go and find a new co-host. Bye.